Whether you're dreaming of becoming a lead teacher, stepping into your first director role, or leading a thriving childcare program of your own, you don't have to figure it out alone. Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, where leadership coach, speaker, co-author, and multi-center owner Erica Sakosio shares the wisdom she's gained from decades of leading successful early childhood programs and developing future leaders. Each episode is designed to help you use your voice, lead with confidence, build a positive workplace culture, and become the kind of leader your team is excited to follow. Expect real talk, big laughs, bold leadership truth, practical strategies, and the encouragement to believe in yourself every step of the way. Because when Erica teaches leadership, she's teaching what she's lived. The Child Care Director's Chair is proudly sponsored by WatchMeGrow, supporting childcare leaders with innovative technology that helps build stronger programs and stronger family connections. Together, they believe leadership isn't a title, it's an action. Pull up your chair, future leader. Here's Erica Sakosio.
We spend a lot of time talking about teachers who call out, the teachers who refuse to grow, the teachers who create problems, and the teachers who seem determined to do the bare minimum. Open any childcare leadership group on Facebook and you will probably find a director asking, what do I do about an employee who's constantly late, never follows through, refuses feedback, or leaves everyone else carrying the weight? Those conversations are necessary, but today I want to talk about the other teachers. I want to talk about the educators who show up every day and give everything they have. The ones who do not just attend professional development, but they return to their classrooms and actually implement what they learned. You know, the ones who notice that the construction paper is running out or running low before you run out. The ones who bring something into the classroom for the children, not because you asked, not because they want recognition, not because they're trying to impress everyone, but they simply wanted to do it because they knew it would bring joy, curiosity, comfort, or learning into their classrooms. I want to talk about the teachers who answer questions in the parent app. They take meaningful pictures, they write thoughtful updates, and they comfort a nervous parent who's leaving their child in childcare for the first time. You know the teachers, the ones who make families feel confident that they have chosen the right program. The teachers who make your job as a leader easier. Today, we're not talking about the people who come in to just do enough to collect a paycheck and they skate through the day. Today, we're talking about the extraordinary educators. And most importantly, we're going to talk about what we as leaders should be doing to protect them, support them, and help them grow and make sure that they know how valuable they truly are. Welcome to the Child Care Director's Chair podcast, the place where we have honest conversations about leadership and early childhood education, team culture, and what it really takes to build programs where children, families, and teachers and leaders can thrive. Today's conversation has been sitting on my heart because after 27 years in the field, I have had the privilege of knowing many extraordinary educators. I've worked besides teachers who could walk into a difficult classroom and somehow bring the entire energy level down. I've watched teachers connect with children that other adults have already labeled as challenging. And I've watched educators remain patient with families who were frustrated or nervous, demanding, or simply going through something difficult. I've watched teachers give more than anyone has ever asked of them. And yet sometimes these are the people we fail to talk about enough. Leadership naturally pulls our attention towards problems. The call-outs get our attention. The complaint gets our attention. The unfinished paperwork also gets our attention. And policy violations, well, those get our attention immediately. But the teacher who is struggling, they also get meetings, they get coaching, they get conversations, written plans, follow-up, they get extra time out of the classroom to do PD. Meanwhile, the extraordinary teacher quietly just keeps going. She opens her classroom, she welcomes every family, she helps a new staff member. Maybe she solves problems before they even reach your desk. She remembers which child needs a little extra reassurance at drop-off. She notices when a parent looks overwhelmed. She adjusts the activity when the children are not connecting with the lesson. She gives you a heads up when supplies are getting low. She helps close the building when someone else calls out. She stays calm when the schedule changes. She makes the program look good during tours simply by just being herself. And because she is dependable, we sometimes accidentally give her less attention. We think, oh, she's fine. We think, I don't have to worry about that room. Or we think, she already knows how much I appreciate her. But does she? Does she really know? Or have we allowed her consistency to become something we expect instead of something we recognize? Extraordinary doesn't always mean easy. One of the things I want leaders to understand is that your extraordinary teacher may not always be your favorite teacher. She may not always agree with you. She may be the one who asks the hard questions. She may be the one who comes into your office and says, I don't think that policy is going to work the way that you think it will. She may be the one who tells you that morale is low before anyone else is willing to admit it. She may challenge a decision. She may bring you information that is uncomfortable to hear. She may advocate strongly for a child, a family, or another teacher. And that does not make her disloyal. Sometimes that makes her one of the most loyal people in your entire building, because she is willing to risk uncomfortable conversations to protect the program. And the people who do not care often won't say anything. They'll stand by the water cooler and complain to everyone except for leadership and allow frustration to grow. But that extraordinary teacher comes to you directly. She trusts you enough to have an honest conversation. She believes in the program enough to want it to improve. And as leaders, we have to learn the difference between disrespect and courageous communication. Those are not the same thing. A teacher can definitely disagree with you and still deeply respect you. A teacher can challenge your thinking and still be committed to your mission. And a teacher can tell you something is not working and still have your back when everyone else is criticizing your decision. Those are the teachers you need around your leadership table. Extraordinary educators are often the teachers who refuse to give up on a child. When a child's having a difficult time, they do not immediately decide that the child is bad, disrespectful, out of control, or just not ready for their classroom. They become curious. They ask, what is this child trying to communicate? They change the environment. They try a different approach. They build a relationship. They watch for patterns. They learn children's interests, and they create visual supports. Maybe they're offering choices, or they adjust their language. They celebrate small progress so that other people probably don't even know, but they do anyway. They understand that behavior is communication, and they keep looking until they understand what the child may be trying to say. These teachers always find ways to reach challenging parents. They do not take every question personally, and they recognize that behind the repeated messages is worried expression, difficult conversations, and they may be feeling fear. They may be feeling guilt. There may be a parent wondering if their child is safe, loved, and understood or accepted. And that extraordinary teacher helps that parent breathe. She builds trust in one conversation at a time. She understands that caring for children also means building relationships with adults who love them. Now, let's be honest about this extraordinary teachers that we're talking about. They also help you close tours. You can have a beautiful building. You can have the newest furniture, the most amazing curriculum. You can have impressive marketing materials. But when a family walks into a classroom, they are watching your teacher. Does she smile? Does she greet the child? Does she get down at the child's level? Does she know what the children are learning? Does she speak with warmth and confidence? Does the room feel peaceful, welcoming, and purposeful? Does she connect with the family without being prompted? Because families can feel authenticity all day long. They know when someone genuinely loves children, and they know when a classroom is more than filled with toys. They know that extraordinary teachers can make a parent picture their child belonging in the classroom. That connection, my friends, is powerful. That teacher may never receive commission for that enrollment, but her professionalism, warmth, knowledge, and presence may be exactly the reason that that family chooses their program in the first place. Now, not every leader has a title, and some of the strongest leaders in our programs are still working in classrooms every day. They influence your culture, they model professionalism, and they encourage new staff. And they remind people why this work even matters. They help others understand new policies, even when they are still adjusting to them themselves. And they do not add fuel to every complaint. They help the team find perspective. They can say, I do not love every part of this change either, but let's give it a chance. And we're going through that right now with the parenting app. Some of my team are like, oh my gosh, this is so complicated. But some of my teachers are like, don't worry, we'll figure it out. They protect the tone of the program. They protect the children. They protect relationships. And they protect your leadership when you are not in the room. And that matters. And the culture of your program is not only shaped inside your office. It's shaped in your classrooms, in your hallways, in your break rooms, your playgrounds, the group chats, and the conversations, yes, at the water cooler. Your extraordinary teachers are helping to lead in all of those places. We cannot build strong programs by simply talking more and asking our teachers for more. We just can't. We cannot reward reliability with consistent additional responsibility. Too often, the strongest person gets asked to carry everyone else. Someone calls out, so we ask that dependable teacher to stay late. The classroom is struggling, so we move the strong teacher. A new employee needs support, so we ask the experienced teacher to train her. There's a difficult family, so we ask the strongest communicator to handle it. There's a special project, so we give it to the person that we know will get it done. And then we wonder why our best people eventually feel exhausted, invisible, and resentful. Being extraordinary should not become a punishment. Our strongest educators need support too. They need breaks. They need planning time. They need appreciation. They need professional opportunities, and they need honest conversations about their future. They need leaders who ask, what do you need? Instead of always asking them, what else can they do? Do not simply say, thank you for everything you do. Be specific. Say, I noticed the way you supported that parent during drop-off this morning. You really helped her feel comfortable leaving her child with us. Or, I saw how you changed your approach when that child became frustrated. You stayed calm. You offered choices, and you helped him rejoin the group. Say thank you for letting me know that you were running low on supplies before it became an emergency. Or, the way that you welcomed the touring family really helped them feel at home. Specific recognition tells people you truly see them. And let's talk about their goals for a minute. Extraordinary teachers are often growing faster than we realize. Ask them, where do they want to be in 1 year? What do they want to learn? Ask them whether they want to mentor, coach, present, lead a project, support curriculum development, or pursue a credential or degree. And don't assume every excellent teacher wants to become a director, because I know a few who don't. Some educators want to remain in the classroom and become master teachers. And that pathway also should be respected too. Leadership growth does not always require leaving the children behind. So I want you to protect their well-being. Pay attention to the teacher who really asks for help. She may still need it. Check on the person who always says, I'm fine. Make sure she takes her break. Make sure she uses her time off. And do not contact her every time there's a crisis simply because she always has the answers. And don't make her feel guilty for setting a boundary. And dependability should be appreciated, not exploited. Your extraordinary educator often sees things that leadership cannot see from the office. They know where the systems are broken down. They know which policies are creating confusion, and they know what families are asking for. They know what teachers are struggling with, so invite them into a conversation before decisions are finalized. Ask for their perspective. Then listen without becoming defensive. We tell teachers we want honest communication, but we have to create an environment where honesty feels safe. And appreciation matters, but appreciation cannot always take place of compensation. A handwritten note is definitely meaningful. Public acknowledgement is meaningful. A thoughtful gift is meaningful. But when people carry leadership level responsibilities, we should also look for ways to compensate them, increase their authority, improve their benefits, support their education, and create advancement opportunities. We have to connect our words with our actions. And their happiness matters. Sometimes leadership conversations focus so much on productivity, performance, and retention that we forget to ask our teachers, are they actually happy? Not entertained every minute, not free from all the stress, but fulfilled, respected, connected, supported. Do they laugh during the day? Do they feel safe to even ask for help? Do they feel proud of their classroom? And do they feel trusted? Do they have the materials they need? And do they feel like their ideas even matter? An extraordinary teacher should not have to leave your program to discover their value. I'll let that sink in for a minute. They should not have to receive an award from someone outside the building before people inside the building recognize their impact. Should not have to burn out before we decide to lighten the load. We need to notice people while they are still standing beside us. So today I want to give a very special shout out to 2 extraordinary educators who are still in the classroom doing this work every day. First is my girl, Becca from New York. Today, Becca is receiving a special educator award in her home state of New York for being an outstanding educator. Rebecca, this recognition is so well deserved, and you are an example of what it means to show up boldly, consistently, wholeheartedly for children, families, and our profession. Awards do not create extraordinary teachers. They simply give the rest of the world an opportunity to notice what people closest to them may have already known. So congratulations to Becca. Keep showing up and keep leading. Keep reminding the world that some of the strongest leadership in early childhood education happens directly inside the classroom. I also want to recognize Miss Ruth. She's another bold trailblazer. Ruth is bringing teachers' perspectives to the stage and creating important conversations about mental health, educator well-being, and teacher burnout. Not from the outside looking in, not from something she read in a book, but she is speaking from a perspective of teachers who are doing this work right now today in your classrooms and in mine. And that voice is necessary. We cannot have honest conversations about burnout without listening to the educators experiencing that pressure. We cannot make decisions about teacher well-being without teachers being part of the conversation. So Ruth, thank you for using your voice. Thank you for representing educators. And thank you for reminding leaders that mental health, emotional well-being, and workplace culture are not side conversations. They are central to whatever great teachers remain in this field. So here's my challenge for every director, owner, administrator, coach, and leader listening today. Find your extraordinary teachers. Not the loudest teacher, not your favorite teacher, and not the only teacher who agrees with everything you say. Not your personal favorites, guys. Look for the person who quietly makes everything better. Look for the person answering family questions thoughtfully. Look for the person helping the new teacher understand the routine. Look for the person who notices what the classroom needs and the person who implements what she learns. Look for the person who tries keeping the child who is struggling in the classroom. Look for the person who comes directly to you with concerns instead of spreading frustration and drama and gossip throughout your building. Look for the person who helps your families feel safe. Then ask yourself an honest question. What am I doing to make sure that this educator feels seen, supported, challenged, protected, and most of all, happy? Do not wait until she submits that resignation letter. Do not wait until she's exhausted, and do not wait until another program offers her recognition flexibility, opportunity, or the respect that she's been missing. Talk to her right now. Recognize her now. Invest in her now. And ask her what she needs now. There will always be difficult staffing conversations in early childhood education, and there will always be attendance issues, performance concerns, policy changes, and people who are not the right fit. But those cannot be the only stories that we talk about. They can't be the only stories that we tell educators about. There are extraordinary teachers walking into classrooms every single day, and they are changing children's lives. They are building trusted families, and they are protecting your program. So I'm going to say this, guys. They're more than employees. They are the reason many of our programs work. So today, let's talk about them. Let's celebrate them. Let's protect them, and let's help them grow. And let's make sure that they know that their work, their voice, their leadership, and their presence matters. Every extraordinary teacher listening today, we see you. We see the things that you do when no one asks. We see your patience, your preparation, the creativity, and the emotional labor and courage that you care. You are not just a teacher. You are a leader. You're a relationship builder. You're a problem solver, and you're an advocate. And you are one of the most important people inside of our program. And every leader listening, go find those educators today. Tell them exactly what you see. So until next time, keep leading boldly. Keep making good choices and make sure that our programs are, example of what excellence is. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Child Care Director's Chair podcast.
Before you go, ask yourself, what's one leadership lesson you'll put into action this week? Then share one takeaway with your leadership team, because Erica believes that great leaders don't just grow themselves, they help others grow too. Ready to keep growing? Join Erica inside the ECE Trailblazers Leadership Membership at childcaredirectorschair.com. Proudly sponsored by WatchMeGrow. Together, we believe leadership isn't a title, it's an action. And we'll save your chair for next time.